What's up, guys? It's Alec, and I know it's been a while and it's a crazy times, but we're still bringing deck profiles for you guys. It took me a while to get this together, but I finally have it. This is Plunder Patrols from Etco. Let's just hop right in. So you guys already know the base Plunder Patrols, Whitebeard and Redbeard. Nothing's really changed with Whitebeard's role in the deck. Redbeard's role has been expanded. We can now really make use of the fact that he can equip to your other plunders when he's sent to graveyard. And we can do it like multiple times in a turn, and we can even recover him. So we're not just stuck to like using this once and it may be mattering. It will matter. You want to use his effect as much as you can on your turn and your opponent's turn. Really, that's true for both of them, but we can actually finally make use of him. Next up are, the number one new Plunder Patrol, maybe the best one in the deck, Golden Hair. So Golden Hair isn't like the other two. She doesn't special summon a new Plunder Patrol from the extra deck. She can be special summoned from your hand or grave by either discarding a card from hand or sending a Plunder Patrol from your field to the grave. You can use both those effects in the same turn. Neither of them are quick effects, so she's not going to do anything during your opponent's turn, but she enables you to make plays during your turn, something these two struggle to do. Our other new Plunder Patrol, well, not as impressive, but still important, Bluebeard. I forgot to mention, she's also a tuner. Bluebeard is he's just another name. When he goes to graveyard, he lets you do a discard, then draw. So he enables you to do more discard effects. It's not that important to the deck, but what is important is that he has the Plunder Patrol name. We just need as many of these guys as possible. He's the least whelming of the bunch, but still very important. That's it for Plunder Patrols. Yeah, we only have 4. If we had more, I'd run more. But my honorary Plunder Patrol, Silent Angler. It's a water fish. It special summons if I control a water monster from my hand, of course. This card is just extremely important because we don't have a lot of board presence outside of these guys. They extend in a very limited fashion. Silent Angler gives us more wiggle room with how we make our plays and even lets us make combos, which I'll talk about that later. Then Small Danger Engine, 1 Nessie, 2 Mothman. I ended up dropping everybody but Mothman. I never thought I'd ever do that, but Mothman's draw and discard is so great. God, I love this card. And he's level 4, so when he summons, I can actually make use of him, unlike things like Nessie. I just love Mothman. He's my favorite danger. And Parallel Exceed. I mean, we've all heard about this card. It can special summon itself to the field when you do a link summon. I'll talk about that more often. But when he does get on the field, he's level 4. And he summons another Parallel Exceed from your deck. And then that one is also level 4. It's almost weird that they gave him a level other than level 4. But all of our other guys are level 4, which means he enables combos. And that's why he's here. And last, and kind of least, O-Lion. Yes, I'm running Needle Fiber. When people say combos in 2020, it's Needle Fiber. Halka Fibrax. On to the spells. Shipyard is still just as important as it was before. Nothing's really changed with how we use it. We just want to see it. We want to use it as much as possible. If it's in your graveyard, you do want to bounce a Plunder Patrol back to your hand to get it out the grave and reset it as much as you possibly can. It's even useful just for sending Plunder Patrols that you have equipped to other Plunders back to your hand to use discard effects for other things, or discard costs for other things. It's still just MVP. Next up is Emblem, maybe the new MVP. Essentially, Emblem can turn any Plunder Patrol who doesn't have the effect to summon a one from the extra deck. It gives them an effect. Also, you can use any monsters from both sides of the field and engrave. So that means if I use a fire monster during my turn in the graveyard now, I can now make a fire Plunder Patrol from my extra deck. It's very important. It's very crucial. It does give it a 500 attack boost to the monsters equipped to. Not important because you have to send this to graveyard to make the new monster, but it transfers the 500 to the new monster. So it's important just to remember that. It can be easily forgotten because it won't be on the field anymore, but a lot of what Plunders want to do is swing big, and you want to account for that. You really do. Next up is our fusion spell. This is our kind of as close to a second MVP as the deck has. It just enables a fusion summon. We did get a fusion monster. That's what it does. But its most important quality is that when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and either equip a Plunder monster from your deck to the field, or you can get an emblem and equip that to a Plunder monster from your deck. So this card just enables combos. It's a great starter. You want to get your ship Elise out. I'll talk more about that later. It's a solid card. You want to see it as early as you can. Speaking of cards I want to see, Salvage. Of the non-plunders, this is the best card in the deck. Plunder Patrols, they need cards in their hand. They desperately need it. Salvage will enable that. It can just grab 2 waters. It's everything. Getting that advantage, it's so necessary. I'm happy that I have it. It could be at 3. I'm not sure about it yet, but at 2, I love it. Cards at 2. Foolish Burial Goods. Just because our field spell is just as useful in the grave as it is on field, just send it to graveyard. It's just as good as terraforming in that way. Speaking of terraforming, there he is. Because we love our field spell. And then 2 call buys. We don't like hand traps, so call buy. And last but not least is Plunder Patrol Booty. Some people thought this card was booty, but they're wrong. It lets you special summon. Well, first, it lets you target and change your opponent's monster's attributes to whatever you want to enable whatever ship summons you want. But it also special summons a Plunder from your grave or sends one back to the extra deck. That recursion is everything. Because if you use a Plunder effect special summon one from the extra deck, it's not properly summoned. So you can't use this. But anytime you do hard summon out one of your Plunder Patrols, that's a monster, that's a resource that you can get over and over and over again. This card is extremely important. After the field spell, this is what you want to find. You need a necessary guy in the deck. Well, I guess Blackbeard isn't as necessary as it used to be. We're no longer locked into having to run links, but he's still great when we do have him because he can plus. When you use his effect to special summon another Plunder Patrol from the extra deck, he draws a card. Usually you end up just kind of praying and hoping it's a Plunder because you need like monsters for that discard effect. But it's a chance-based thing, so it's not great. But he's still necessary at least at 1. He could get dropped, but 2 is fine for now. Then the old guys, the old guard. We have Bran and Mork. They're just useful ships. What Lise and Bluebeard bring to the table is the ability to hard summon these guys. So you'll have to kind of make decisions in your game why you would want to. For instance, if you hard summon the Synchro, Bran, that means your monsters get sent from field to grave. You can trigger their effects. That's really the only benefit there, but there are times when you really do want to get their effects off, and this is the only way to do that, unless you use the fusion spell, but that's a whole other thing. And then there's Moek. If you hard summon him, yeah, you're not going to get the from field to grave effects, but Moek has the ability to protect your other Plunder Patrols, and there'll be many times you will wish that you hard summoned Moek instead of like cheating him out. And then the new ship, Plunder Patrol ship Lise. Like, this card is stacked. So, like all Plunder Patrols, you have to use a discard to use its main effect, which is to negate a monster effect. And like all Plunder Patrols, if it does that, it will plus after on resolution. I believe Plunder Patrol ship Lise will search just any Plunder Patrol card from your deck to hand. You might recall that Bran can search a monster after using its effect, and Moek can search a spell after using its effect. So Lise kind of can search anything after using its effect. But also, these can special summon one of your Plunder Patrol monsters from the spell and trap zone to the field so that you can do all sorts of shenanigans. Remember how I mentioned we can finally make good use of Redbeard? Let's not forget, Redbeard can use his effect, his quick effect during the opponent's turn to special summon out another ship from your deck. So when he does end up in your spell and trap zone, Lease enables him to become a combo. And that's amazing. It makes him useful. It makes Lease invaluable. We just want to see this card as early as we can and as much as we can. I mentioned that we want to see the fusion spell early because you might guess if you use a fusion spell at the very beginning of a game, you can send 2 Plunders from hand to grave and get their effects. You summon a monster that can stop Nibiru, and that's just beautiful. That's it for the Plunders. They are the core of this deck. But the rest of these guys, they're no slouches. I mentioned combos, right? Well, that's where Needle Fiber comes in. And because we run Needle Fiber, we run Martial Metal Martyr. I always get tongue-tied with his name. He's just a guy to be summoned off Needle Fiber. We run Link Cross. We link Halka Fibrax into Link Cross. Very simple. And who do we get for our efforts? We get F.A. Dawn Dragster and Herald of the Arclight. These are just powerful monsters that we want to make use of. It doesn't take much. All to get these 2 monsters, all I gotta do is summon him. That's it. And last but certainly not least is Almirage and Abyss Dweller. We run a lot of 4s. Lots of decks hate this card. It's crazy how relevant this card's been throughout its entire lifetime. And most of our monsters, if not all, can summon Almirage. Okay, everybody but Whitebeard, I believe, can summon Almirage, which can trigger Parallel Exceed. And you can get an Abyss Dweller, or you can just make a Moark if you really want it. But that's all I've got for my Plunder profile. I've had a lot of fun building this deck. You don't have to run the combo in it. This deck is a very strong control deck. You can just run it pure, just like the way it is. But I love this deck. I hope you guys give it a try. If you like this video, give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to Team APS Deck Checks. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.